Hello, welcome to Day Off Gaming. I'm your host, Tellian, and we are playing Star Controller 2, the Ur-Quan Masters. In this episode, we're going to be pretty much doing, trying to get resources, because we need to build up our army so that we can take the fight to the enemy. Right now, we're not very fast, we don't have hardly any ships, so we're kind of not in trouble, but we do need a lot more resources, definitely. I'm trying to remember how to control this ship. I used to be really good at this game a long time ago. Okay, so this looks like it has some weather, which is surprising, considering there's almost no atmosphere, and a little bit of earthquakes. I think we should be fine. Let's see what we have on the planet. It doesn't look like very good stuff. Well, it's the gray, so I think we can at least go down maybe for one time. I did forget to mention this. Under where it says crew, there's a fuel cost, and that's how much it takes for you to go down each time. So that is something to definitely keep in your mind, because there are some planets where it's almost 2 fuel per landing because it's the gravitational pull. So you have to be kind of mindful of that. Alright, let's go on down. Okay, looks like we have no lightning. That's always a plus. Because that's what you have to watch out for, is the lightning that will come out after you and hit you and damage you as you're playing. Alright, looks like we got everything. I'm not even going to bother getting that last piece. We're going to navigate. Let's see. We're not going to go to Venus or Mercury just because of the severe heat and the weather conditions. They would just tear the ship apart. Well, not the ship, but the lander. Hey, we have Titan. As you can see, we have a level 3 here, so we may actually get lightning on this one. I don't know if it's really worth landing, but we're going to try it just to get some minerals. Okay, that's interesting. No, I figured there would be lightning on this one. Yep, there it is. There it is. As I said, it like seeks out your lander sometimes. I was wondering where it was. I was like, I'm not missing anything. But yeah, so that's the weather conditions. As you can tell, it can destroy your crew really quickly. Let's see. Let's go up to, I think this is Neptune. Yeah, let's see if there's anything on this planet, or this moon. Not much, but it's pretty safe to land, so we'll go ahead and do that. We're not going to bother with this right here. That's the cheapest one, so it won't be worth anything. I do find it interesting, like you can go going sideways and you'll rotate around the planet, but if you go north or south, you get stopped. So that is something to be mindful as you play this. This may not have really been worth coming down. There's not much down here. Oh well. Alright, let's navigate to Uranus. Then we'll hit Pluto. There's the other place. Whoop! Shoot! No, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. Nope. Yeah, nope. No moons, so we probably won't even be able to land on Uranus or anything. So, yeah, it's just a gas giant. Alright, let's go find Pluto. think this is Pluto up here. Yep. Alright, let's see what we can find on Pluto. Ooh! That's a good one. Wait. There's... Wow. Hey. Notice something. This is the best minerals you can find. They're like 25 per unit. But we have an energy signature over here. Let's go see what's going on. Let's go on down. It's only 0.1 fuel. That's nothing. How much do we get? Only 5. That's not bad. That's still pretty good, though. But what's out here? Oh! What is this? Uh-oh. Mayday from surface. We have come under fire from an alien vessel we found hiding on the surface of Pluto. Captain, they killed Kowalski, Fritz, Chin, O'Donnell, Luigi, and all 3 of the Lieberman triplets. We have returned fire, but our stunner can't penetrate the ship's whole armor. We are initiating emergency launch procedures. And the transmission. There is nothing you can do.
Attention, a big, mean, hostile alien vessel hovering overhead in an obvious attack posture. This is Spotty, Captain Whiffle. I know you are going to torture me, so let's just get this over with right now. The coordinates of my homeworld, Spottywa, are 241.6 by 368.7, and the ultra-secret Spotty Cipher, which is known only by me and several billion other Spotty, is Huffy, Muffy, Duffy. Sorry about that little mistake with your landing vehicle. I was so startled when it approached my vessel in a threatening manner that my automated defense systems fired on it when it got too close. I hope nobody got hurt.
Whippo is amazing. I love the Spotty. They are, as in the last episode, we talked about them, they are cowards, like severe cowards. So you can usually avoid combat with them, typically. But yeah, this guy's a character. Okay, let's see what we want to say. Attention, alien vessel, identify yourself to be destroyed. Hi there, friend. We come in peace and mean you no harm. Don't kill us. You attacked our lander, killed our crew, prepared to die. Well, we're not mean, but we'll be. Let's see. Let's be cordial, or you know what I mean.
Of course. As I said, I am Captain Photo of the Spotty Lordship Star Runner. Our sensors have tracked your entry into the system, which you are no doubt here to conquer. And while you are certainly welcome to do so, we would be greatly appreciative if you would please just go away and forget this star system ever existed. If you don't go, it will greatly complicate our master-slave relationship with the Ur-Quan, who stationed us here to watch over the Earthlings.
Well, let's see. We suggest you immediately perform whatever cultural practices are customary through a species preceding death. We understand that sometimes these tragic misunderstandings happen. We grieve, but we are not bitter. And then you can, of course, die, Slug Boy. You can, if I remember correctly, you can tick him off enough to where he will fight you. And he only has 1 crew on his ship. Him and himself.
Certainly, most gracious destroyer. As is well known, before departing this mortal phoenix, all Spotty must complete the short brilliant ritual of Wadi Waza to be assured of a secure afterlife. And by allowing us to fulfill this requirement, you too shall be granted immortality in our beautiful afterworld, which is absolutely guaranteed to be free of similarly immortal monsters who would otherwise eat the both of us.
Yeah, a knife of your slimy yammering, we fight. You may get into your ritual, and if I may make it small, it should be done in less than 2 minutes. And you can be, because I am compassionate, you will not die until you have exhausted your usefulness.
My eternal gratitude is yours, O devastator of helpless beings! It's times like these that I am forced to feel almost, though not quite, sorry that the Ur-Quan so thoroughly defeated and humiliated your species.
So what
About 20 years ago, this region of space was dominated by a loose confederation known as the Alliance of Free Stars, which was composed of the aliens native to these parts who did not want to be enslaved. They made a valiant effort against the superior Ur-Quan forces. It even looked like they might miraculously defeat the combined Ur-Quan armada, right up to the point at which the Ur-Quan totally defeated, indeed annihilated them.
Okay, so what are you doing here on Pluto?
When the Ur-Quan armada entered the system to subjugate formerly the Earthlings, the Ur-Quan presented the humans with the standard slave options. Join the hierarchy as combat draws and retain some autonomy, including the right to travel through space, or become a fellow species and return to free atomic savagery on the surface of their homeworld, encased for all time beneath an impenetrable force shield. The humans chose the latter option, and so were swiftly imprisoned on the surface of Earth. But the Ur-Quan didn't trust them to obey the restrictions, so they chose a small group of hierarchy combat starships from the Ur-Wraith and Spartan fleets to create the so-called Earth Guard and station them at a base on Earth's moon.
Yeah, but you're not telling us what are you doing on Pluto? So tell me.
Originally, we were stationed on Earth's moon, which made us Spotty a bit uneasy because with each passing day we grew more and more worried about the sneaky Earthlings making a surprise attack. So the Ur-Wraith kept telling us that it was impossible since the Earthlings had no ships or weapons whatsoever. That made us feel a bit better, but when the Ur-Wraith left, again we grew fearful and decided to make a strategic redeployment to Mars. Later on we decided it would be prudent to relocate to Jupiter's moon, Ganymede, then later Saturn's moon, Titan, and finally here to Pluto.
It was almost like a little strategic withdrawal. Okay, so what happened to the Ur-Wraith? Where'd they go?
The Ur-Wraith contingent were supposed to be the toughest ridge crest, the most rigid flipper, yes, the backbone of the Earth Guard force. But they departed the system en masse not long after the last Ur-Quan dreadnought vanished from this region of space. They claimed to have received a direct order from their gods of evil and darkness, who had grown dissatisfied with the Ur-Wraith's passivity and wanted them to kill, or at least torture someone soon. Personally, I believe they just got bored and went off to have some fun.
Okay, so when do we expect them back?
Well, when they were pushing up into hyperspace 18 years ago, we asked them that very question, and I think they said something to the effect of, real soon.
Well, 18 years, I don't know how real soon that is. So what's going on with the boost on Luna, which is the moon, just in case you weren't aware of what they were talking about there. So what happened on Luna?
We decided that if the Earthlings figured out we had abandoned the base on Luna, they would be more likely to try something sneaky. So, we rigged up some old service androids and ordered them to drive around on the lunar surface in bulldozers, endlessly pushing around the same piles of dirt. In addition, we connected the base's local radio transmitter to an audio malnorme fun rum called Winky's Happy Night, hoping they would think we were still there.
Well, I'm gonna say that apparently worked because they thought you guys were still on the planet, on the moon, so I'd say that is pretty sneaky. So what happened to the other Spothy? Where are all the ships?
Over the past years, it became necessary to redeploy strategically some of our Earth-Guard forces to our homeworld in case of a sudden surprise attack by a vicious, unrelenting alien race which we Spotty call the Ultimate Evil!
Who are what is this ultimate evil?
As yet, the ultimate evil remains largely unmanifest, and its powers and exact intentions are still a bit obscure, since it lurks just outside the range of even the most sensitive long-range detectors, which we feel gives conclusive evidence as to the ultimate evil's nefarious intent.
So in other words, they're afraid of something they can't even see or scan or anything. Got it. So their fear itself, maybe? You could almost see it that way. How many crew do you have aboard?
Dozens, that is to say scores and perhaps even hundreds of my brethren stride through the corridors of this specially modified, super-efficient, mass destruction-oriented starship, which could lay siege to an entire planetary system should we choose to do so, which, fortunately for you, we have decided not to do today.
Well, before we continue this, I'm kind of curious. Let's find out where the Ur-Quan are.
Our masters don't really keep us very well informed about their goings-on, so that all we know is that immediately after the subjugation of the last Alliance race, the Yahat, I think, the Ur-Quan gathered their dreadnoughts and departed for the edge of the galaxy, commanding us to obey the slave laws or face their wrath when they returned.
Alrighty. Do you know anything about other alien races?
We only know bits and pieces of what happened to each race. For instance, when defeated, the Yahat joined the hierarchy as combat thralls, while the Cyrene chose to be slave-shielded on a planet in the Bug Squirt star system. No, that's not right. I forget its name. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, the Shafixti. They were utterly wiped out in a gigantic blaze of glory.
Yeah, what do you mean by a blaze of glory? What happened to them?
The Shafixti were half feral, as you know, having been uplifted by the Yahat just a few decades before the start of the war. Given their habit of detonating those suicidal so-called glory devices in combat, it came as no particular surprise to me when, upon the arrival of the Ur-Quan Primary Task Force at their homeworld, the Shafixti caused their sun to explode in a colossal supernova, destroying the entire planetary system, and not incidentally dozens of Ur-Quan dreadnoughts.
Let's see. Well, okay, let's go back to him having hundreds on his ship.
I am undone. You are far too clever for a poor stuffy like me, and now I must submit to your superior alien intellect. I guess I am not revealing any truly important secrets if I tell you that each of my species' Eluder-class void ships typically holds 30 stuffy crewmen, though at present my vessel, the Star Runner, is not up to full complement due to the needs of my homeworld in their resistance against the ultimate evil. And in fact, my vessel is somewhat understaffed right now, seeing as how I am the only spotter on board, which is a bit frightening, as I am sure you can understand.
He's all by himself. So why are you here? Why are you still here?
Since it was our most powerful and unforgiving masters, the Ur-Quan, who stationed us here, we knew it would be grossly stupid to disobey them completely, but we decided it would be okay to send just one ship home. We used one of our most ancient and solemn rituals, Poon Taffy, to pick the lucky ship. Then, some months later, we decided that it wouldn't really hurt if we sent one more ship home. And then later we sent another, and then another. Well, you get the idea. Alas, as fate would have it, when the final ritual was performed, I, Barito, was left here alone. For as even the most immature in wrestling knows, there must always be one spotter who picks the short top horn stick.
He was very unlucky. Very unlucky. So what about yourself? Tell us about it.
Me? You mean me, personally? Well, nice of you to ask. I was born a poor green incrusting, the youngest child of a family of 18,487. My male parents had to work hard to support us, very hard. but each of my brothers and sisters and I tried to help out to make ends meet. The female parent was kind and sweet to all of us. Why, she once even called me by name. She said, what a treat, a golden memory. I swiftly matured into a fine example of my species with my parents' assistance. Achieved independence. Specifically, they pried me from the door jam and rolled me into the street. Thus prepared, I set out to make my fortune. I had great dreams in those days. Yes, great dreams. I knew that someday I would be vastly rich, wealthy enough to afford a large, well-fortified mansion. Surrounding my mansion would be vast tracts of land through which I could slide at any time I wished. Of course, one can never be too sure that there aren't monsters hiding just behind the next bush. So I would plant trees to climb at regular, easy-to-reach intervals. And being a spotty of the world, I would know that some monsters climb trees, though often not well, so I would have my servants place in each tree a basket of correct stones. Not too heavy, not too light, just the right size for throwing at monsters. I was thinking about what color the stones would be painted, aqua, mauve, or magenta, when a vegetable cart came careening down the street outside my house and knocked me unconscious. When I awoke, I was aboard the void ship Star Runner headed for Earth. Apparently, I had been out of my head for quite some time after the accident, and with the assistance of some kind strangers, had been relieved of my funds and convinced to join the Navy, where I have been unpleasantly employed for the last 25 years.
Well, that kind of sucks. Well, let's see. The galaxy teamed with threatening monsters. Are you happy here? Alone and vulnerable.
How true, Captain, how true! In truth, just between us, during the past 7 years, I have been quite ill at ease, and yet now I find myself enjoying your company. This witty dialogue, and the presence of your huge, powerful, death-dealing starship, which, being my friend, you would certainly feel compelled to use in order to save me from any hostile life forms who threatened me with death.
Well, in that case, we're gonna attack you. I'm kidding. Come on, join us!
Happy days and jubilation! I discard all prejudice and hesitations and accept and celebrate your offer of protection and your undying commitment to my well-being. I must wax melancholy for just a moment though, and make sure you understand that any other spotty ships we meet at large in the galaxy are not going to be quite so responsive to your friendly gestures as myself, since they bear more heavily the yoke of Ur-Quan enslavement and are also apt to talk themselves out of allying with a totally unknown alien, which I, having been left here alone, cannot do. Welcome me aboard, Captain.
Alright, so we have a new ship. We cannot build these, though, because we are not allies with the Spothy. So that is one thing to be aware. Right now, he is the only one that we can have. So let's go ahead and navigate. I'm going to take us, as I said, to Mars, just to give you an idea of how volatile that planet is. We are not doing Venus. Venus is a death trap. It has weather that is horrendous, heat. It's just a terrible place to go, and it's not worth it with the stuff that you can get. Oh, we're going too far, going too fast, going too fast, going too fast, too fast. Okay. Let's go to Mercury real quick. I'll show you what we will be getting ourselves into if we stayed there, or if we were on the planet. So, we'll scan it. 165 degrees, and I believe that's in Celsius, just to give you an idea. So, that means we have to watch out for fire jets, and you'll see them when we land. Earthquakes aren't bad, and there, of course there's no weather because there's no atmosphere. And as you can see, it actually does have decent stuff. It's got gold, it's got radioactives, it's got some decent stuff. But, as I said, we're going to go down. I'm pretty sure we ought to be fine a little bit, but we'll find out. Whoa. Yep, you stay away from it. Whoa! Yeah, see how quickly that happens? We're actually going to save. And we're going to create an episode 3. Alright. We're actually going to go back down. We're going to try and get as much as we can. Because as I said, this stuff is really good. I'm not worried about the gray, but I do definitely want this and this. So it's worth losing a little bit of ships. Whoa! Nope, 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 nope. Run around, run around. There we go. I got pretty much what I want. There is a red one there, but the reason I'm not too worried about getting it is it's one of these. So, I'm not worried about that. But we do have some good minerals, so we're going to go ahead and navigate. I am going to take you by Venus, just so you can see how dangerous it is. We're not going to land. I am not that crazy. But I just want to show you just the weather on it. It's insane. So, Venus is 457. So you saw some of the fire trails we had at Mercury. That was nothing. You land on Venus, you're going to have fire trails everywhere. The weather is 8, which means lightning is everywhere on that planet. And as you can tell, it does not have good mineral content at all. It's got the basic, like the very basic, where it's like that teal color, and then just a couple of units for metals. It is not worth it. It is not worth landing on that planet at all. So we have basically landed and cleaned out this planet as best as we want to right now. So we're going to go drop this stuff off. And we're going to pick up some men, some fuel. And we're actually going to start going outside the solar system here after a bit. So let's see. Let's go talk to the commander.
I am at your disposal, Captain.
Alright. We have some minerals to offload.
Good work, Captain.
We don't have any more background information. Every once in a while, when we talk to him to drop off minerals, he will have some information for us. He'll, which gives us kind of clues of where to go and such. If I remember correctly, if you don't find Quifo on the planet Pluto, he will mention that they're getting some strange readings out towards that planet and kind of advise you to go check it out. So it's a good way of finding it. But if you just do what I basically do, you almost will always find them in the beginning before he mentions it. Pluto just is kind of tricky to find because it's so hard to see because it's so tiny.
Be careful out there, Captain.
Alright, let's get some new crew. Shipyard. We need to man you. Okay. We need to man you. Okay. Okay. Now we need to outfit. We need fuel. Okay, that wasn't too hard. Alright. We want modules. We are still in the process of getting more thrusters. And turning. Alright, that's not too bad. That's a good start. Let's see. I don't think we can get a lander. No, we cannot. Okay. So let's go ahead and exit. What we are going to do is we are going to call the episode here. When we come back, let's go ahead and depart. But what we're going to do is we're going to pull up the map. Right now, we have huge range for where we can go. Like every time I see that, that's just like huge. We know where the Ilrath is. We know where the Spothy are now. But what we're going to do is we're going to start kind of cleaning out around this area and work our way out. Just for mineral gathering. That's pretty much going to be the next episodes or two, is pretty much gathering minerals. That is a very big thing with this game. We will eventually get to the point where we're actually doing fighting, and actually there will be storylines and stuff like that, and we will definitely get to that. But until then, I think we will wrap this up, and I will see you all in the next one.